Taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride.
What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kevin here, and in today's video I will be reading a ghost story. Now, before I get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are new, and grab a buddy, turn on your lights, snuggle with your pillow or something, because it was pretty bad. Well, not that bad, but anyway, let's get started with this story. My house was built in 1904. It's a single-family home, wood frame, sitting on the concrete block foundation. I have been living here for about 12 years. Of all the weird things that my siblings and me have seen or heard in this house, this one event is my favorite. This happened to my brother about 10 years ago. My brother and his best friends have started a garage band playing mostly Spanish rock, alternative music, but in Spanish. His friends could only get together on Sunday afternoons. They would practice into the early evening, and they would usually call it quits by 8 p.m. This was the time I usually showed up and went to bed because I worked the graveyard shift. This happened in late fall, so the days were getting shorter. They had just finished a long session where the decision came up about going to someone else's house. My brother handed his car keys to his buddy so they could load up the equipment. Everyone had filled out the basement, but the tricky part was that they needed to walk all the way up the back of the basement, up the back stairs, through the kitchen door, down the hall, into the living room, and out the front porch. Everyone was outside sitting in my brother's trucks waiting for him. My brother was walking up the stairs when he remembered that he left his pancakes in a to-go container sitting on a speaker in the basement. He made the decision to go back. Now the basement is not clean, with full sight lines. There had been partitions made, and the boiler made a right smack in the middle. So after my brother walks back, he is about to retrieve his food container when out of the corner of his eye he sees it. It's a shadowy figure right at his peripheral vision. This feeling of dread and uneasiness washed over my brother. We had been taught that if you are in the presence of a spirit or ghost and you felt a bad vibe, to quick prayer or to cuss at it. My brother chose the latter. He basically just told it, "Hey, fuck you. I don't have time for this shit." My brother started to walk back over the basement and briskly up the stairs, closing the door and turning off all the lights as he walked out the door. The last switch was on the opposite side of the front door. Luckily, the door was open and the light from the street lamp was flooding the living room with its another amber light. My brother said he felt something at his back, but at no point did he turn around. As he flicked the last switch of the living room, went as dark as the rest of the house did. As he stepped out, he pulled on the door, closing it behind him, still holding his food container in one hand. He jogged down the few porch steps. He resided far from the main street, essentially having a large front yard, but no rear garage. As he closed the gap between himself and his friend's bladed truck, he kind of smiled at the things over his head, mad at himself for spooking out when there was no reason. He climbed into the driver's side of the truck, putting on his seatbelt and getting ready to pull out the parking lot directly in front of the house, when one of his friends asked, "Hey, what about your brother? Isn't he coming with us?" My brother answered, "What do you mean? He went to work early tonight. He is already gone. Do you see his car anywhere?" The next question they asked dreaded me forever. It made me rethink everything I've thought about and that happened in that very moment. And this is the question. So then, who was walking behind you when you were leaving the house?